Several people are disappearing, said the text message my editor sent me. Was I hearing this right? I restarted my phone, praying all the while that the phone had malfunctioned. It hadn't. People really were disappearing. We were put in touch with this man who claimed to know why. I started by asking him who he was.
Yes, a straightener. So that's good. My name's Homer and I'm a photographer. I took 3 pictures of my nephew Kieran in a similar pose and was shocked when the middle picture came back from a small man in an Asda alcove displaying what looks like a spaceman in the background.
Homer insisted that he did not see the figure until after the photographs were developed, and analysts at Asda confirmed that the photograph was genuine.
In their words, they said, "Listen mate, this is real. We cannot explain that, it's clearly a spaceman." So that's when I started calling it the Beech Hill Spaceman.
The Beech Hill Spaceman.
You see, the photos were taken on top of the valley, near Beech Grove. At the time we were paying our respects to red clogs like the BHSM.
BHSM?
Beech Hill Spaceman.
Right.
You see, red clogs and the BHSM have a lot of similarities. Both tend to linger around, and if you're very careful, sometimes you can see them. Not clogs though, he's dead.
Sorry, why are we talking about this? My mind's gone blank.
Because the worrying thing is that they've been spotted within a mile of all these vanishings.
After hearing this, I immediately insisted that we look for the spaceman.
I insist that we immediately go looking for him then.
Okay.
Homer agreed, and we packed a bag with a picnic, a ball and a camera. We then went round to Homer's friend's house to ask if he'd like to come along. He didn't.
So when did you start to connect the dots?
When I started to see him on a regular basis. This was after Ginny left me and I lost my job. I looked up at the sky and I could see the clouds in the shape of a young boy's wrist. Snappable.
It was whilst Homer was telling me how to make love to a fairy that I received a text message from my boss informing me that Homer had married a balloon in May and was a well-known liar.
Last week I got visited by 2 men from the government. They would only be identified by number and they said that they were watching me.
Why?
Well, good question. They told me it was classified. Do you know how the government actually watch people?
No, hi.
Like this.
After realising we'd wasted a day's filming and weren't going to get paid without an ending, fellow reporter Ed Rand took it upon himself to deal with the situation in the only way he knew how. By knocking it on the head. Blacktooth, World of Wigan.